Gary Olson piloting the 55H. Brendan Warner, 12 stars. Zach Edsel in the 52. 24 cars, the Kyle Memorial. Green flags out, we're underway. Dennis Lunger takes the early lead going in turns 1 and 2. Eller's going to try to work back to the inside, but Lunger's got the lead going in turns 3 and 4. Calvert in the 12. C-Car going to take a look to the outside of Eller. Caution comes out. We'll see if the lap will count. We got 3 to 4 cars in the infield. We'll see if the lap will count. Dennis Lunger takes the lead on the outside. Calvert picking up where he left off on the outside. He'll move up to 3rd. Young calls back to 4th. Jacob Bucher in the 64. Caution again. Caution comes out again. We got another car spun over in turn 1. Let's get some green flag laps in here. We'll try it again. Eller and Lunger bring the field to green. Lunger gets that good start on the outside. He'll take the lead going turns 1 and 2. Calvert still works that outside. Young falls back to 4th. Seen this happen a couple times here. All cars make it out of turns 1 and 2. Drivers coming around here turns 3 and 4. This time we're going to get a lap in. Dennis Lunger's going to lead lap 1. Lunger leads lap 1. Calvert's worked his way up to 2nd. Calvert in 2nd. Eller falls back to 3rd. Keep your eye on that 64 car, Euchre. Jacob Euchre in that 64 car is making some noise on the outside here. Garrett Calvert in 2nd, Eller 3rd, Jared Young 4th, Jacob Euchre now in 5th. Lunger brings the field around here. Calvert in 2nd, Eller 3rd, no change in your top 5. Shagler's up to 6th, Harmon's running 7th. Harmon getting a little bit of a challenge here, going down the backstretch. Harmon holds on to his position. Lunger here brings us around 5 laps in the books in the Kyle Hill Memorial here, paying $1,200 to win. Harv jumps the infield here. That's the Nathaniel Arp in the 27. Not sure who the other car is over with Arp. Dennis Lunger brings the field to green. Green flags out. We're back underway. 5 laps in the books, 15 laps remaining. Zach Eller gets a good restart there on the outside. And Calvert they'll go side by side down the backstretch for 2nd. Jacob Euchre took advantage of that restart. He has the 4th spot. Jerry Young trying to find back down on the inside. Euchre's going to move up to 4th. Euchre in the 64 has made it up to 4th from his 5th starting spot. Lunger clicking the laps off here. 7 laps in, 13 laps remaining. Calvert solidly in 2nd. Jared Young got back by the 64 and Euchre for the 4th spot. Euchre now back to 5th. We're going to bring out the yell here. We got a car slowed and stopped over in turn 2. All right, here we go. Dennis Lunger's been your leader since the drop of the green flag here. He'll retake the lead here going. Green flags out. Eller gets a good start on the outside there. Not so much this time. Calvert's going to take that 2nd spot. Eller falls back to 3rd. Jared Young. 4th, Euchre trying to use that outside. Jared Young is going to get to the inside of Eller. Battle for 3rd. Eller holds on. Good run for the 99 of Zach Eller. Trouble there in turn 2 again. Caution comes out. Over in turns 1 and 2. Is your leader. He'll be bringing here to green. Can fire anywhere in between 2 cones. He does. Here, green flags out. We're back underway. Trouble on the front stretch. We got the 20 of Alex Takian and the 47 of Gary Sullivan. whole bunch of debris here on the front stretch. In third, Jerry Young fourth, and Jacob Bucher rounding out the top five. Longer brings the field to green. Green flags out. We're back underway. Jerry Young gets to the inside of Eller. Battle goes on for third. Young got the spot coming out of turn two. Jared Young's moved up to third. Eller falls back to fourth. Dennis Lunger, your leader. Garrett Calvert able to hit with the 71L car there. Passing may be another issue. Jerry Young's going to take a look to the inside of Coward, starting to battle for second. Jerry Young's methodically trying to work his way up through the field. His caution not really helping out a whole lot, but Dennis Lunger and right on cue, we got another caution down the backstretch. Hard getting some laps here in this one. And just as Jerry Young gets some momentum, caution, hopefully we can get the remaining laps in here and get going here. So green flags out. Try it again here. Lunger takes the green flag. Smoke coming out of the car there on the backstretch. Looks to be the 1S. Steve Simon's got a whole bunch of smoke coming out of that 1S machine. Steve Simon's got a whole bunch of smoke coming out of there. Tough sledding out there getting this one going. It was supposed to be 20 laps and ran out of time there, changed it to a 15-lap race there. But in the scheme of things, looked like this 71 really had the field covered in this one.
Yeah, this thing's been outstanding. Last couple weeks, we took out over last night, bringing the way down there. I worked on it for like 13 hours on Thursday nonstop. I didn't like the way the car was this year. I think I got it back to where it was last year now. We're quite happy with it for sure.
You're smiling, it's still very early in the season, that's a good thing. You know, it's kind of overall one of our biggest races for the Jones Car Airport and Econo lines. You know, you got the opportunity to race with Kyle and just, you know, as a good competitor. Sometimes you get you, sometimes you got him. Just talk more about some experience together with Kyle.
Actually, you're a little off on that. I hate to tell you that, but I never did get a chance to do it. Great Lakes or Super Lakes at the time. I did get to meet him one time at Raceway 7. Seemed like a nice young man. He asked me about a gear selection for Sharon, and that's pretty much the only conversation we ever had, but he seemed like a great kid.
Okay, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were racing there, but anyways, Kyle's a great competitor, and I'm sure, you know, getting to know him and being around, it was, you know,
Corporation, S Technology Group, DJ Jimmy, Great Lakes Speed Shop, Books Racing Supply, Shakers Oil, Pulse Trading Post, and every down north, Connor Family, and you don't forget somebody on this site. We can all go there.
We can.
Here you go. Bam, bam.
That's out. Oh yeah, I remember that. True Oil Race Products, Menard Run Oil, Benchmark Races. I couldn't do it. And Bam Motorsports, the one place alone. He's another one. Him and his wife are battling cancer right now, so I messaged him and asked if I could go to stick around the car to try to raise awareness. You know, I've always raced for Crohn's, and I wanted to try something a little different. And all these people struggling right now in America. Anything's gonna help. Just raise awareness.
All right. Let's hear folks. Dennis Hunter picks up the $1,200 payday in the Colorado Memorial.
Congratulations, brother. You got her done the redneck race chases.
I thought they raced together.